Welcome to my channel, Book 2 Fluent. I am Adam, and let me ask you something very honestly. Are you really trying to change your life? Or are you just thinking about it every day but doing nothing? You watch videos, you feel motivated, but after some time, everything becomes the same again. So today, I will show you how to truly change your life, step by step, in a simple way. Tell me in the comments. Do you feel stuck right now, or not? Chapter 1. The truth you are avoiding. Let me talk to you honestly, not like a teacher, but like someone who understands you. You wake up in the morning with a small hope that today will be different. You tell yourself, today I will start. Today I will change something. But then slowly, without even noticing, your day begins to look exactly like yesterday. You pick up your phone for just a few minutes, and suddenly time is gone. You scroll, you watch, you think, I will start after this, but that after this never comes. Deep inside, you know what you want. You want to speak English confidently. You want to improve your life. You want to feel proud of yourself. But there is a quiet voice inside you that keeps saying, not now, maybe later. And that voice is the biggest truth you are avoiding. You are not lazy, you are not weak, you are just stuck in a pattern that feels normal now. Every day you think about change, but you do not take action. And slowly this becomes your life. You start believing that maybe change is too hard. Maybe it is not for you. Maybe other people can do it, but not you. But stop for a moment and think, is that really true? Or is it just a story you have been telling yourself again and again? Because the real truth is very simple, and it might feel uncomfortable, but it is powerful. The truth is, nothing will change until you change something. Look at your day from the outside. Imagine you are watching your own life like a movie. You wake up, you check your phone, you delay your goals. You think about learning English but do nothing. You feel a little guilty. Then you distract yourself again, and at night you promise, tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow comes and the same story repeats. This is not because you do not want to change. This is because you are avoiding the small discomfort of starting. Starting feels difficult. Speaking even one sentence feels uncomfortable. Trying something new feels scary. So your mind chooses comfort again and again. And this is where most people lose. Not because they are not capable, but because they keep choosing comfort over growth. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect time. They wait to feel ready. But here is something very important you need to understand. You will never feel ready. You will never feel perfect. And if you keep waiting, you will keep staying in the same place. Right now, you are standing between two lives. One life is the same as today. Same habits, same thoughts, same results. The other life is different, where you speak English, where you feel confident, where you grow every day. And the distance between these two lives is not big, it is not years of hard work, it is just one small decision repeated every day. But the problem is, you are avoiding that first small decision. You say, I want to change my life. But your actions say, I want to stay comfortable. And this is the gap that is holding you back. It is not your ability, it is not your intelligence, it is not your background, it is your daily choices. Small choices that look unimportant, but slowly build your future. Every time you choose to scroll instead of practice, you are choosing your old life. Every time you delay instead of start, you are choosing to stay the same. And I know this might feel a little heavy, but this is not to make you feel bad. This is to wake you up. Because once you see this truth clearly, you cannot ignore it anymore. Once you understand that your life is controlled by your small daily actions, you also understand something very powerful. You have control. You can change it. You do not need to change everything today. You do not need to become perfect. You just need to stop lying to yourself. Stop saying I will start later. Stop saying I am not ready. Stop saying I don't have time. Because deep inside, you know these are excuses. And excuses feel comfortable, but they slowly steal your future. Imagine 1 year from now. If you keep doing what you are doing today, where will you be? Probably the same place, with the same frustration, the same regret. Now imagine something else. Imagine you start today, just a little, just one small step, speaking one sentence, reading one page, practicing for a few minutes. 1 year later, your life will not be the same. You will be a different person. So the truth you are avoiding is not that you cannot change. The truth is that you have not started yet. And starting is the only thing standing between you and the life you want. And here is the most important part. If nothing changes, everything stays the same. This is simple, but it is real. Your future is not created by your dreams. It is created by your actions. Small, daily, sometimes uncomfortable actions. So now, ask yourself one honest question. Not tomorrow, not later, but right now. Am I ready to stop avoiding my own life? Because this moment, this exact moment, can be the beginning of your change. Chapter 2. Why you feel stuck and it's not your fault. Let me take you deeper into something very important. Because if you don't understand this, you will keep blaming yourself again and again. You keep thinking, why am I like this? Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I start and then stop? And slowly, this question turns into a feeling. A feeling that maybe something is wrong with you. But listen carefully, because this can change everything for you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken, you are not weak. You are simply following the natural pattern of your mind, and you were never taught how to control it. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you successful. It always chooses comfort over discomfort. It always chooses easy over difficult. So when you think about speaking English, when you think about practicing, when you think about changing your life, your brain immediately sends a signal. It says, this is hard, this is uncomfortable, let's do something easier. And without even realizing it, you listen to that voice. You open your phone, you delay your work, you say, I will start later. This is not because you are lazy. This is because your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. Now think about this. Every time you tried to do something new, something uncomfortable, your mind gave you reasons to stop. What if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if I fail? These thoughts feel real, but they are not facts. They are just fear. And fear is very powerful, because it stops you before you even begin. So you stay in your comfort zone, you stay where everything feels safe. But here is the hidden truth. Your comfort zone is also your cage. Another reason you feel stuck is overthinking. You think too much and do too little. You watch videos, you learn rules, you try to understand everything perfectly before starting. You say, I need more knowledge first. But the truth is, you don't need more knowledge, you need more action. There are people who know less than you, but they speak more than you. Why? Because they take action. They are not waiting to feel ready. They are not waiting to be perfect. They just start. And then comes comparison. You look at others and think, they are better than me. They speak so well. I can never reach that level. And this thought slowly kills your confidence. But what you don't see is their journey. You only see their result. You don't see their mistakes, their struggles, their embarrassing moments. You don't see how many times they failed before they improved. So you compare your beginning with someone else's success, and that is never fair. Let me tell you something very clearly. Everyone you see today who speaks English confidently, who has changed their life, they all started exactly where you are right now. Confused, scared, unsure. The only difference is, they did not stop. They felt the same fear, but they still took action. They felt uncomfortable, but they still continued. There is also one more silent reason why you feel stuck. You are waiting for motivation. You think, when I feel motivated, I will start. But motivation is not reliable. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. Some days you feel like doing nothing. If you depend on motivation, you will always be inconsistent. That is why you start strong, then slowly stop. Not because you cannot do it, but because your energy changes. So what is the real solution? The solution is not to become perfect. The solution is to understand yourself. Once you understand that your brain will always try to keep you comfortable, you stop trusting every thought. Once you understand that fear is normal, you stop running away from it. Once you understand that action is more important than thinking, you start moving forward, even if it feels uncomfortable. And this is where something powerful begins: awareness. The moment you become aware of your patterns, you are no longer controlled by them. Before, you were acting without thinking. Now, you start seeing your actions. You notice when you delay. You notice when you avoid. And slowly, you gain control. You don't need to fight your mind. You just need to guide it. Instead of saying, "I will practice for 1 hour," say, "I will speak one sentence." Instead of saying, "I will change everything," say, "I will start small." This removes pressure. This makes it easier to begin. And once you begin, something amazing happens. You start building confidence. So understand this deeply. You are not stuck because you cannot move. You are stuck because you have been moving in the same direction again and again. And now, for the first time, you are learning how to change that direction. And this is the shift. Before, you were blaming yourself. Now, you understand yourself. Before, you were waiting for the perfect moment. Now, you realize the perfect moment does not exist. Before, you were thinking too much. Now, you are ready to act, even if it is small. Because awareness is the first step of change. And now, you are no longer asleep in your habits. You are awake. Chapter 3: The Power of Small Daily Actions. Now something beautiful begins, because this is the moment where your life can start to change in a real and practical way. Not in a big dramatic way, not in a perfect way, but in a simple, quiet, powerful way. Until now, you were thinking about change as something big. You thought you needed a lot of time, a lot of energy, a perfect plan, or a strong motivation. But the truth is very different. Real change does not come from big actions. It comes from small daily actions that you repeat again and again, even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't feel confident. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine you decide to speak just 3 English sentences every day. Not 1 hour, not a long speech, just 3 simple sentences. I am learning. I feel good. Today I will try. It sounds small, maybe even too small. Your mind may say, "This is nothing. This will not change my life." But this is where most people make a mistake. They ignore small actions because they look weak. But small actions are powerful because they are easy to do and because you can repeat them every day. And repetition is the real secret. When you repeat something daily, your brain starts to accept it as normal. At first, speaking even one sentence feels strange. You feel shy, you feel uncomfortable, you make mistakes. But when you do it every day, slowly your fear becomes smaller, your confidence becomes stronger. Your mind starts to say, "This is okay, I can do this." And without realizing it, you start improving. This is how real progress works. It is not fast, but it is steady. And steady progress always wins. Think about it. If you improve just 1% every day, after 1 month, after 3 months, after 1 year, you are not the same person anymore. But if you do nothing, if you wait, if you delay, then even after 1 year, everything is still the same. So the question is not how big your action is. The question is how consistent your action is. Let's talk about something very important. Most people depend on motivation. They say, "Today I feel good, I will practice." And the next day they feel tired, so they stop. This is why they never move forward. But small daily actions remove the need for motivation. When something is small, you don't need to feel excited. you just do it. Like brushing your teeth. You don't wait for motivation to brush your teeth. You just do it, because it is a habit. This is exactly what you need to create. A simple habit of small actions. Speak a little, read a little, listen a little, think a little. Not too much, not too fast, just enough to move forward. And when you do this every day, something amazing happens. You stop feeling stuck. You start feeling alive. You start feeling that you are moving, even if it is slow. Let me give you a real picture of how this looks in your daily life. You wake up in the morning, and instead of checking your phone immediately, you say one sentence in English. I wake up. Then you add one more. I feel sleepy. It is simple, but it is real. During the day, you see something, and you describe it in English in your mind. At night, you read just a few lines, or think about your day in simple English. This is not difficult. This is not stressful, but this is powerful. And here is something very important you must understand. Small actions build identity. When you do something daily, even if it is small, you start seeing yourself differently. You no longer say, I want to learn English. You start saying, I am someone who practices English every day. And this shift is very powerful. Because once your identity changes, your actions follow automatically. There will be days when you don't feel like doing it. There will be days when you feel tired, distracted, or even lazy. And that is okay. You are human. But on those days, do not stop completely. Just reduce the size. If you cannot do 3 sentences, do 1. If you cannot read a page, read 1 line. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Because the moment you stop completely, your habit becomes weak. But the moment you continue, even in a small way, your habit becomes stronger. And this is how you win. Not by doing everything perfectly, but by not giving up. Now think about your future again. Imagine you follow this simple idea for the next 30 days. Just small actions every day. You will feel different. You will think differently. You will speak a little more. You will fear a little less. And that small difference will give you more confidence to continue. So stop looking for big changes. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop thinking that you need to do more. You don't need more. You just need to start small and stay consistent. Because small daily actions may look invisible in the beginning, but over time, they create visible change. And that change is not just in your English. It is in your confidence, your mindset, and your life. Snap. And now, for the first time, you are not just thinking about change. You are learning how to create it. Chapter 4. Build a simple daily routine. Now we take everything you have understood and turn it into something real. Something you can actually follow every day without feeling confused, without feeling pressure, and without feeling that it is too much for you. Because many people fail not because they are not serious, but because they make things too complicated. They try to do everything at once. They make big plans, long schedules, perfect routines, and after a few days, everything breaks. So here, we are going to do the opposite. We are going to build a simple daily routine that fits into your real life, not an imaginary perfect life. Think about your day from morning to night. You already have a routine. You wake up, you eat, you use your phone, you go to work or study, you come back, you relax, and then you sleep. So you don't need a new life to change your life. You just need to add small, powerful moments into your existing day. This is the secret. Not more time, but better use of time. Let's start with the morning, because the way you start your day decides the direction of your whole day. When you wake up, before touching your phone, before getting lost in messages or videos, just take 1 minute. Yes, just 1 minute, and speak something in English. It can be very simple. I wake up. I feel tired. Today I will try. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need long sentences. You just need to start. This 1 minute creates a signal in your mind. It tells your brain, I am someone who practices. And this small action at the beginning of your day changes your energy. Now move into your day. You don't need to sit for 1 hour and study like a classroom. Instead, use your real life as your practice. When you are doing something, just describe it in your mind. If you are walking, say I am walking. If you are eating, say I am eating food. If you see something, name it in English. This is not extra work. This is natural practice. And because it is connected to your real life, it becomes easy to remember and easy to repeat. During the day, find a small moment, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, where you can listen or read something simple in English. Not difficult content, not something that makes you feel lost, but something you can understand a little. Even if you understand 50%, it is okay. The goal is not to understand everything. The goal is to stay connected with the language daily. This small input builds your understanding slowly and naturally. Now let's talk about the evening or night, because this is where your day completes. Before sleeping, just take a few minutes and think about your day in simple English. Today I worked, I was busy, I learned something. If you want, you can say it softly or even write 1 or 2 lines. This is not a test, this is your personal space. And this moment is very powerful because it connects your whole day with English. Now look at this routine. Morning 1 minute speaking, daytime small thinking practice, a few minutes of listening or reading, night reflection in simple English. This is not hard, this is not stressful, this is simple, natural, and possible for you. And the best part is, you can do it every day. But let me tell you something very important. You will not follow this perfectly every day. Some days you will forget, some days you will feel lazy, some days you will skip parts of it, and that is okay. You are not a machine, you are a human. The goal is not perfection, the goal is to return again. Even if you miss 1 day, come back the next day. Do not stop completely. This is where most people fail. They miss 1 day and then they think, now my routine is broken, and then they stop for many days. But your routine is not broken by 1 mistake. It is broken when you give up. So never give up, just come back, again and again. Another important thing is to keep your routine flexible. Do not make it strict and heavy. If you are busy, reduce it. If you are free, increase it a little. But never make it so big that you cannot follow it. Your routine should support you, not stress you. And slowly something beautiful will happen. This routine will not feel like work anymore. It will feel normal. Just like you check your phone daily, just like you eat daily, you will start practicing English daily without thinking too much. And when something becomes normal, it becomes powerful. Because routines create results without effort. When you follow a routine, you don't need to decide again and again. You don't need to think, should I practice or not? You just do it. And this removes confusion, removes delay, and builds discipline. Now imagine your life after 30 days of this simple routine. You will not be perfect, but you will not be the same. You will feel more confident. You will understand more. You will speak a little more easily. And most importantly, you will feel proud of yourself. Because you did not just watch videos, you acted. So remember this clearly. You don't need a perfect routine. You need a simple routine that you can follow daily. Because simple actions, repeated daily, create powerful change. And now, you are not just learning how to change your life. You are building a system that makes change possible every single day. Chapter 5. Change your identity, not just your habits. Now we go deeper, because this is where real transformation begins. Until now, you have understood your habits, your routine, your actions. But there is something even more powerful than all of this, and that is your identity. The way you see yourself, the way you talk to yourself inside your mind. The quiet sentence you repeat again and again, I am this kind of person. Because whatever you believe about yourself, your actions slowly follow that belief. If you believe I am lazy, you will act lazy. If you believe I cannot speak English, you will avoid speaking. If you believe I always fail, you will stop trying early. And this is why many people change their habits for a few days, but then go back to their old life, because they never change their identity. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine two people doing the same action. Both of them speak one sentence in English, but inside their thinking is different. One person says, I am trying to learn English. The other person says, I am someone who is learning English every day. The action looks the same, but the identity is different. And over time, the second person will continue because it matches who they believe they are. The first person may stop because they still feel like a beginner who is just trying. This small difference creates a big result. So now ask yourself honestly, what is your identity right now? What do you say to yourself when no one is listening? Do you say, I am weak, I am not confident, I cannot do this? These sentences may feel true, but they are just habits of thinking. They are not permanent. They were created by your past actions, and they can be changed by your new actions. Here is the powerful shift. Instead of saying, I want to change my life, start saying, I am someone who is changing my life. Instead of saying, I want to speak English, say, I am someone who practices English daily. These are simple sentences, but they send a strong message to your mind. They tell your brain, this is who I am now. And when your identity changes, your behavior starts to align with it. You don't need permission from anyone to change your identity. You don't need a certificate. You don't need perfect English. You just need to decide. Right now, in this moment, you can choose a new identity. You can choose to be a learner, a doer, a person who takes small actions daily. And then you prove it, not with big results, but with small, consistent actions. At first, it may feel strange. You may say, I am someone who practices English daily. But your mind may say, no, you are not. And that is okay, because identity is not built in one day. It is built through repetition. Every time you take a small action, you are giving evidence to your new identity. Every time you speak one sentence, you are telling yourself, see, I am doing it. And slowly, your mind starts to believe it. This is why small actions are so important. They are not just actions, they are proof. Proof that you are changing. Proof that you are not the same person anymore. And when you collect enough proof, your identity becomes strong. You no longer feel like someone who is trying. You feel like someone who is becoming. There is one more thing you need to understand. Stop using negative labels for yourself. Stop saying, I am bad at English. Stop saying, I have no confidence. These words may feel small, but they are very powerful. They shape your identity, and your identity shapes your life. So choose your words carefully. Speak to yourself like someone who is growing, not someone who is stuck. Let me give you a simple example you can use every day. When you wake up, say, I am someone who improves daily. When you practice, say, I am building my skill. When you make a mistake, say, I am learning. These are not just sentences. These are tools to change your identity. And something beautiful happens when your identity starts to change. You no longer need external motivation. You no longer wait for someone to push you. You move on your own because it feels natural. Just like a person who believes they are healthy will choose healthy actions. A person who believes they are a learner will choose learning action. Now imagine your future again, not as someone who is hoping to change, but as someone who is already changing. Someone who speaks a little every day. Someone who learns without fear. Someone who is not perfect, but is improving. This is not a dream. This is a decision. So understand this clearly. Habits can start your journey, but identity keeps you going. If you only change your habits, you may stop. But if you change your identity, you continue, even on difficult days. And now, you are no longer just someone who wants a better life. You are someone who is building it, step by step, day by day. Chapter 6. Start now, not tomorrow. Now we come to the most important moment of this entire journey. The moment where everything you learned either becomes real or becomes just another idea you forget after this video ends. Because let me be very honest with you, understanding is not enough. Motivation is not enough. Even this whole video is not enough if you do not take action. And the biggest mistake people make is this. They say, I will start tomorrow. But tomorrow is a very dangerous word. Tomorrow feels safe. Tomorrow feels easy. But tomorrow never comes. It keeps moving forward again and again, and your life stays in the same place. Right now, you feel something inside you. Maybe a small energy, maybe a small push, maybe a small belief that you can change. This feeling is very important, but it is also very temporary. If you do not use it now, it will slowly disappear. Your mind will go back to comfort. Your habits will pull you back, and you will say the same sentence again. I will start later. This is how months pass. This is how years pass. Not because you cannot change, but because you keep delaying the moment of starting. So let me ask you something very direct. Why not now? What are you waiting for? Perfect time? Perfect mood? Perfect confidence? None of these things will come before you start. They come after you start. Confidence comes from action. Clarity comes from action. Improvement comes from action. So if you are waiting to feel ready, you will keep waiting forever. You don't need to change your whole life today. You don't need to follow a perfect routine from tomorrow morning. You don't need to speak perfect English. You just need one small action. Right now. Not later. Not after this video. Right now. It can be very simple. Say one sentence in English. Just one. I will start today. That's it. This one small action is more powerful than all your plans, all your thinking, all your waiting. Because when you act, something changes inside you. You stop being a person who watches and waits. You become a person who does. And this shift is everything. It may feel small, but it is the beginning of a completely new direction. Now listen carefully, because this is very important. Your future is not created in big moments. It is created in small decisions like this one. The decision to start, even when it feels uncomfortable. The decision to move, even when it feels slow. The decision to continue, even when it feels difficult. There will be days when you feel strong, and there will be days when you feel weak. There will be days when you follow everything perfectly, and there will be days when you do very little. But none of that matters as much as one thing. Do you keep going, or do you stop? Because the people who change their life are not the ones who are perfect. They are the ones who continue. Think about your life 1 year from now. Not in a dream way, but in a real way. If you start today and take small actions every day, even when it is not perfect, your life will be different. Your English will improve. Your confidence will grow. Your thinking will change. But if you don't start, if you keep waiting, then 1 year later you will still be here, with the same thoughts, the same regret, the same question, why didn't I start earlier? And that regret is much more painful than any small discomfort you feel right now. Speaking one sentence may feel uncomfortable. Practicing daily may feel difficult. But regret feels heavier. Regret stays longer. And deep inside, you already know this. So do not wait for a big moment. Do not wait for a big change. Start with a small step, but start now. Because starting is not about being ready. Starting is about being brave enough to begin. Right now, you are not the same person who started watching this video. You understand more. You see your habits. You know your patterns. You have a simple plan, and most importantly, you have a choice to go back to your old life or to take one small step forward. So choose carefully, because your life is not waiting for you. Time is moving, days are passing, and every day you either move closer to your goal or you stay where you are. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not later. Now.